smiling down at you from the family love altar. The romance of Romeo and Juliet, and find the mystical room of the moon. And don't forget King Kong, Dracula, Frankenstein, and who knows what awaits you in the wine cellar. Enjoy the great food. We hand stuff our pastas, roll each and every tortellini, bake our own bread, make our own sauces fresh from our private stock of Sicilian family recipes. From pasta to seafood, chicken to award-winning pizzas, tiramisu flown in from Rome. If you can't find something on our menu to tempt you, you don't like Italian food. Try our Sunday brunch, just $18.95, and Angelo's and Vinci's has been named 2 years in a row Best Italian Restaurant in Orange County. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurant, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022.
The best show in the world is Two Scorpions and a Brandy Glass. I'm Barry Farber. It is nice when you call and say, "Oh, Mr. Farber, I agree with you," but that really gets us nowhere. I want your enmity, hostility. I want your questions. Give me a call right here on the Barry Farber Show. Weekdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Welcome to the Sports Lounge. I'm Michael Horn, along with the star of our program, the gentleman we call the Sultan of safeties. 2 safeties in one game in the same quarter, the all-pro defensive end. We're talking about the one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer.
I had to water my horse. I was not on camera.
Oh, well, you're on camera now.
I appreciate that, and so here we are.
It's good to see you. I watched you this week on Hunter. I happened to turn on the Heroes and Icon channel, and you were, you're a very handsome man.
Which one was it? Which one was it?
I just saw your face there, and I thought, this guy, if I was a woman, I would.
And you are.
I can see why Elizabeth Taylor would be interested in you.
She loved me.
She did. You went on dates with Liz Taylor.
Hey, listen. I was looking through the sports page here of our local birdcage liner, and I want to talk about, not only is UCLA terrible, getting beat by St. Bonaventure here in the tournament, but I want to talk about what's going on in pro basketball with the one and done, and what's happening in college basketball with the one and done, and why there's problems there that have to be remedied with the help of the NBA. And we want to get into that. I want to talk a little bit about that because they're destroying college sports with this thing.
Do you think they are? So this is a big topic for you today.
Yeah, well, it is. I think it's been bubbling under for the last couple of years, and I think the criticism that you get with John Calipari and his belief that it's one and done. I don't care. I'll recruit you if you're one and done. But
yes.
But this is not good things for college basketball.
I want to talk a little bit about baseball spring training because I was down there over the weekend.
That's right. You went over
I went down to report here on the show to tell you what's going on. So I went down there, and I got a couple of things to talk to you about spring training if you want to go check it out. And I took a look at some of the boys. I looked at the Giants and the Dodgers, and I looked at a little bit the Cubs, and I saw the Angels and took a good look. So
did you have a fedora on and a pencil in your mouth?
I went in disguise so nobody would know that it was me.
But did you go there play the role of the 40s scout?
Yes, I sure did. So anyway, I'm going to tell everybody if they want to get some information, they can go to your website, freddryer.co.
Yes.
freddryer.co. Now, so I want to talk about that because, I went to Tempe Diablo Stadium and saw the Angels. And the big story there that I noticed is if you order a margarita at Tempe Diablo Stadium, that's the Angels training facility, and they run out of tequila, which they did after we had just a couple of margaritas. I went for the third, and the woman back there, the bartender, was pouring rum into the cocktail, and we said, wait, it's supposed to be tequila. She says, we're all out of tequila. You won't know the difference. Now, what if you had an allergy to a rum or something? Can you believe that? They're trying to pass off rum, and of course it tasted terrible. It wasn't a margarita, it was a rum-arita. It was just terrible.
Was it? It tasted terrible anyway.
I took it to Mike Scioscia.
How do you sell that drink and pass it off as a margarita?
I don't know, but that was a serious.
What did Mike
problem.
have to say? Did he chug it and say, "No, I don't like it"?
Mike tasted it. No, I didn't take it to Mike Scioscia. But I got a little report from spring training for you, so that'll be.
And that Japanese pitcher, he's a dud, right?
Well, nothing is happening so far.
That's right.
I think he's probably a little nervous.
Stage fright.
Millions of dollars. Now have to live up to be the Japanese Babe Ruth. There is no Japanese Babe Ruth. He's the guy. He can create the story.
Well, by the way, where's your tan? I expected you to come back with a little burn.
On this side here. It was overcast. It was raining.
Suntan.
I sat in the rain.
I opened a restaurant because I love running out and buying printer ink at the last minute. I'll try that new bolognese recipe later. First, I need to track down a magenta ink cartridge so I can print today's specials. Living the dream.
Staples thinks it's time to rethink your ink so you can spend more time doing what you really love. And so this week at Staples, when you trade in your old printer, you'll save up to $80 on a new Epson EcoTank, which includes up to 2 years of ink. Visit Staples today and keep your ink stocked and your business moving. Valid 3/11 to 3/24. See store or staples.com for details. Restrictions may apply.
Want to refresh your wardrobe and home? Get to Kohl's Friends and Family Sale and take an extra 20% off with promo code FRIEND. With an extra 20% off, LC Lauren Conrad floral tops are just $23.99. Jumping Beans tees are only $6.40. And a KitchenAid Artisan stand mixer is $299.99. And you'll get $60 Kohl's Cash. A spring refresh for the family, Kohl's Cash for you. Right now at Kohl's. Select styles. Offers valid March 14th through 18th. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
Oh, welcome back to the Sports Lounge, as we call it here every week at this time. A recap looking back at the week's work of sports and what's coming ahead. I'm Michael Horn, along with the one and only Fred Dreyer. So here's the thing, Fred, and I want to hear your comments on this. Yep. And I was texting Dave Roberts because I happened to taste his wine at a restaurant. He and Rich Aurelia have this wine called Red Stitch Wine. It's an incredible Pinot Noir. If you get a chance,
you would know. You would know.
It's incredible. You want to get the one from Santa Lucia Highlands, the Sobranas Vineyard. It is. I put it in the top 5 of all Pinot Noirs that I've tasted. It's wonderful.
That's saying something.
Yeah, and so, but I didn't text Dave about this because I figure he's got his problems. He doesn't need me telling him. But here's the deal. They got rid of Brandon Morrow as their setup guy, and the Cubs signed Brandon Morrow along with the guy that tips his pitches there, Yu Darvish. Yeah. So the Dodgers are looking for like the setup. You know how they play baseball. Now they got to have a guy that pitches the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th. Mm-hmm. And they want this setup guy to be Pedro Baez. Now he came He came out, and this is a spring training crowd. And I had guys all around say, oh, yeah, look at that, 96 miles an hour, all this. And then all of a sudden,
over the plate, 96 over the plate.
Gets a couple of pitches in there. He may even get an out. But as soon as he doesn't, the balls go outside or something, he starts grooving, and people start grimacing. They go, oh, no, here he's going again. No. And I heard like Charlie Steiner say, well, he's healthy, or maybe it was Rick Monday. He's healthy, and so he's probably going to be better this year. The man pitches fast, velocity, but he can't hit the corners, and this is a big problem for the Dodgers bullpen.
Over the plate. You know, there's so many guys down here off of Nordhoff Boulevard near Balboa who are tending bar that can throw 100 miles an hour.
Exactly.
And they can't put it where they want to put it, therefore it goes over the plate, therefore it goes out over center field fence.
So I'm a little worried, as much as I love the Dodgers, about their bullpen. I think is the weak part. They got some good young arms and pitchers, but that's going to be the area they need to tighten up here in spring training. I think is they got to give Kenley Jansen some help, and they lost that left-hander they had that they got from Cincinnati. Tom, whatever his name was, is on San Francisco.
He's on San Francisco now.
Yeah. So
they got Cingrani, but he's not that guy.
Cingrani, I think it is Cingrani.
Well, no, Cingrani's here.
Oh, he is. Okay,
He was from Cincinnati. Yeah. And then the other kid was from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. So there you go. So anyway, that's what I like. The Angels, I'm telling you, they look pretty good offensively. Mike Trout was cranking it. Even Pujols was hitting pretty well. It remains to be seen how this Japanese Babe Ruth is going to do for them. He pitched and I guess did whatever, like you do the spring training, and he got some hits. But, you got to give him some time to gel with the squad.
Well, of course, that's what this is all about. But you can't bring Bad Brain Pedro
That's
Baez.
Pedro Baez.
You
That's,
can't
that's the nickname in the
I coined it. I coined that several years ago.
In the Fred
I
Dryer
used
League.
to yell at David Vassay.
You yell at
I
the
yelled.
TV.
I got my phone and
yell
I
at-
started texting. I said, they can't be serious to
yell.
bring Bad Brain here
Take
in the
it
eighth
easy.
inning.
Take it easy.
I can't.
Take it easy.
He inflames me.
Take it
And if
easy.
I were in that organization, I'd find another organization for
Yell.
him to bother people.
Yell at this coffee cup because you like to yell at
No,
inanimate
I
objects
can't.
like
I
the
just
TV.
can't do it. I can't do it.
So
You
they got a
cannot
problem.
teach a guy suddenly to throw 97 on the black, on the
You
corners.
should maybe take some of that velocity off and learn how to place the ball.
Look, let's not try to reinvent pitching. Not for this guy. This guy cannot pitch. He cannot pitch. He's there purely to keep the other guys in the bullpen from going out for pizza in the sixth inning. That's what he's there for.
Now, years ago, because I'm an old soul, they used to have maybe the pitcher that wasn't so great on the staff. He would be in the bullpen. This was in the days when a reliever would come in and maybe throw 2 innings, sometimes 3 innings, right, and complete a game. They used to have that in his 1 inning. He came in. You had so many relievers that could pitch over a period of time. They were starters that weren't as good. And the guy that was like the worst starter and really wasn't that good of a relief pitcher got the nickname, as I recall, the mop-up man. So if you were losing like 13-1, you'd bring in the mop-up man.
So you don't burn out your pitchers.
Exactly.
That's right.
So Pedro Baez may be a good mop-up man.
He's the mop-up man. I think you just ought to just leave him, in the hotel. You let him mop
You
up in
wouldn't
the
even-
hotel.
You wouldn't even take it from
No, I would get him out of that uniform.
Yeah, that's
I'm
a problem.
telling you, this guy is going to lose you games.
Yes.
Remember the 4 runs he gave up in Pittsburgh
Yes.
when he came in? He gave up 4 runs before Dave came out of the dugout. And
Dave
at the
Roberts.
end of the game, they asked him, gee, Doc, well, how come you didn't go get him? Well, we didn't want to hurt his confidence.
Which is true. And you
Come on.
But you have to. This is the modern player. You have to think about
come
that.
on.
But
Come
so
on.
there's a problem here right now.
Cannot pitch, period. And you're going to burn up a bunch of losses, and you're going to piss off a lot of Dodger players.
Now, on the positive side, there are some good young arms there, so they may have some people in.
Well, let's get them.
Let's get them up. Exactly. I think there might have some people they can move into that, but it remained to be seen when I was there. The Dodgers did come from behind though and beat the Cubs 6-5, but after Pedro gave up
Yeah.
about 3 runs or so in one.
That's right. But they should bring in a Walker Buehler.
Yeah.
Bring in Walker Buehler and let him. He has control and command of his pitches.
Yeah. That's what you need is the command. Don Drysdale came up with that statement. Command. Remember?
That's correct.
And you and I love Don Drysdale. You patterned yourself. People don't know this about you. We've mentioned on the show if they're regular listeners. But you, being the football legend that you are, the 2 safeties in 1 game in the same quarter, you were a baseball player at Long Beach State, right? You played in high school. I'm sorry, in high school.
Lawndale High School.
Lawndale State High School. Lawndale High School.
Lawndale.
And but you burnt your arm out because you were trying to throw too hard, too fast.
That's what happened. So here's my deal. Let's segue. I want to segue into basketball.
Yeah, I know you do. So talk about, what do you mean by this one and done? What do you not like about this? Give everybody the background.
A high school kid coming out of high school,
Right.
being recruited into any major university, into a 4-year basketball scholarship.
Okay.
We're going to sign you up for 4 years. You're going to come here. We're going to give you a free education in exchange. You're going to play some basketball for us.
There you go.
Okay?
Sounds good to me.
It's very, very simple.
Yep.
And what's happened is, in order to get some of these players
Right.
to come to your college, the player says, I don't want to have to adhere to 4 years. I want to come in, and if I'm ready after 1 year, maybe 2, I'm going to leave. I'm going to walk out of what's left of my scholarship.
So wait, so they walk in, they take the scholarship for at least 1 year, maybe 2, and then they say, I'm ready to go play. I'm walking away from this, and the college doesn't get any benefit from signing the guy up, or it just has 1 year or 2 years or whatever it might be, correct?
Well, yeah. And so there's colleges that really kind of didn't want to do that. They want to recruit players that are going to be with them. Otherwise, it burns up their It burns up their program.
Right.
Okay. So John Calipari, Kentucky, he comes along and says, I don't care. I go into the homes and I say, you're a great player. You're coming right out of high school. There are players who can come from high school into professional basketball, into the NBA right now. I think you're one of them. But you should come here for 1 year, and then at the end of that 1 year, you can leave. We'll call that one and done. And so that's been the policy now for a while. And now when we come back from our commercial, I'll develop this more.
You will. So this is the great Fred Dreyer here. You're listening to The Lounge, the Sports Lounge with Fred Dreyer. I'm Michael Horn. Come to you every week at this time. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, email Fred Dreyer at crntalk.com. Fred Dreyer at crntalk.com. Do you like burgers? Then experience the ultimate famous 50-50 burger at Slater's 50-50 in Pasadena, California. 50% ground beef and 50% ground bacon. Stop by at 61 North Raymond Avenue in Pasadena and visit Slater's 50-50. Experience our full bar with craft beer and more. Play in our cool new game room. View the best sports in our Slater's 50-50 TV lounge. Try our Slater's 50-50 burgers by design, too, and all of our incredible food, including our Sunday Bloody Mary brunch. Check out our VIP event space for private dining and ask about our chef-inspired catering company with a completely scratch kitchen-based service. It's all at Slater's 50-50 under new management at 61 North Raymond in Pasadena. Call 626-765-9700. 626-765-9700. Call now, 626-765-9700.
Hi, friends. This is Larry Minetti. Go to LarryMinetti.com to get my book, Aloha Magnum. You'll read all about the wonderful guest stars like Carol Burnett, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and many, many more. There is an episode guide and my favorite recipes that I really cook at home. I will include a free signed photo with every book. Get Aloha Magnum at LarryMinetti.com. Order now. Aloha.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
Destination South Point. 11 great restaurants, bingo, bowling, movies, race books, sports books, spa, live entertainment, oversized rooms, and the rates unbeatable. The South Point Las Vegas. Book now. Online at southpointcasino.com or call 866-791-7626. southpointcasino.com or call 866-791-7626. At the South Point Las Vegas, you're always a winner.
Welcome back here to the Sports Lounge. I am Michael Horn, along with the star of our program, the one and only acting legend who I saw on the Heroes and Icons channel as Hunter. I'm talking about the one and only Fred Dreyer, former
Thank
football
you so much.
genius.
Looking through this, how?
What you looking through? I thought we're doing the one and done
Steve
here.
Steve Alford, a UCLA coach.
Yes.
I got to think he's got a dotted line around his neck.
Why?
Well, he just gets beat in the first round by St. Bonaventure.
Not good.
I mean,
they got beat.
They played like crap.
Did they get beat by my alma mater, Cal State Northridge? The Matadors beat them 1 year, 7 years
I
ago.
think Princeton did the slowdown game. They just stalled them right out of it, right into a loss.
Exactly.
The Bonnies now advanced to play the Gators. All right.
So tell us about one and done.
So the one and done thing.
Yes.
You can see where the problem lies, and that is you've got a program that has some players playing all 4 years. You have some players, playing 3. You have a handful of players perhaps playing 2, and you've got maybe 2 or 3 players playing 1 year, and they're done, as they say, and they get to go into the draft.
Right.
And they're doing this because the NBA says it's okay. We'll accept a kid straight out of high school. We'll accept a kid with one and done from a major university or any university, as long as they show up and we think we're a talent. We'll evaluate them to help them decide if they think they're one and done. Many basketball players, these young 18-year-old kids, they want to go to the NBA because they can dunk from half court.
Right.
All of these great athletes, and many of these kids are under the impression that they're first round material and they're a bonus baby and they're a lottery pick and so forth and so on. And so the NBA now goes to them and tells them and evaluates them. If I were you, I'd stay in school another year. So you're not a one and done as far as we're concerned. Now, if you want to come out after your first year, go ahead. So there's an awful lot of there's an awful lot of that going on, and the NBA, in my view, has to put a stop to it, because here's one of the things that happens. This year, the Lakers drafted a bunch of young kids. They got a good nucleus of players. One of the kids is Kyle Kuzma, and there's another kid, Josh Hart, I believe is from Villanova. I may be wrong about that, but both these guys spent 3-4 years in college.
Okay.
And believe me, when they come into professional basketball, that pays off.
It does, doesn't it?
Crazy.
Yeah, it's like learning the ropes.
Well, the difference between being 18 years of age and being 19 or 20, 21 is a big difference.
Right.
And so now you've got all of these shoe companies coming at these kids. You got all these agents now scurrying around because they're one and done. You've got these guys who come in and say, "Yeah, I want to represent you," and they throw a bunch of money at them, and they say, "Great, I'm going to be a phenom. I'm going to be a one and done. I'm going to go to Tennessee. I'm going to play 1 year, and then I'm going to go into the NBA." And you've got this guy, this agent now, who was throwing money at this kid, to settle him down and to get him some money, and so they can negotiate, so they can be their agent and negotiate with him. Well, it hurts the kid, because sometimes these guys dump their education,
right, and
they don't graduate, and then they don't make it in the NBA. Something happens to them, or they realize, gee, I'm not as good as I thought.
Correct.
Plus, you get in after you leave after 1 year. You get in, and you do not have the maturity to help you through and make that adjustment. And so it's very detrimental to the kids, very detrimental to the colleges, very detrimental to professional basketball. But yet, professional basketball, they just say, well, the guy's a phenom. We're going to take him after he goes one and done, and we're going to give him, $50 million guaranteed. And he comes out, and after 3 years, when he would normally be a senior, he either starts to show that he has matured or he doesn't. And so you've got a huge investment with a kid, and that doesn't pay off until he's 3-4 years into his professional career.
Follow Fred Dryer on Twitter, Fred_Dryer, Facebook.com/The Real Fred Dryer, and email him, FredDryer@CRNTalk.com.
It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-8803. 800-485-8803. 800-485-8803. Call right now. That's 800-485-8803.
This is the Mungle on Movies. I'm Matt Mungle. Tomb Raider hits theaters with Alicia Vikander as Lara Croft. It co-stars Dominic West, who says this about the appeal of this father-daughter film.
I've got 3 daughters, so that was, I suppose, the heart of what appealed to me when I read the script was this father-daughter relationship, which I was rather amazed to see was in this big action movie, that there was this very emotional relationship going on, that it's really at the heart of the film.
For more reviews, interviews, and a chance to win I, Tonya on Blu-ray, visit mungleshow.com.
When you really want Italian food, you have got to get to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club. Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. It's word of the green time. Now we might not know how many quarts make a gallon, but that's not the case when it comes to pints. Here's to you, and here's to me. May we never disagree, and if we do, the heck with you, and here's to me. There's no better place to celebrate St. Patty's than at Columbo's. After all, it was Aldo Colombo who discovered Ireland years ago on his way to Eagle Rock. Jazz every night, great Italian specialties, the world's greatest meatballs that'll have you singing Tura, Nura, Nura, the freshest fish and yummy steaks, great service and all so affordable. Happy St. Patty's at Good Times Central, Columbo's, because it really is that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's, Faith and Bigora.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 4.125%, APR 4.36%. But choosing the right mortgage lender involves so much more than just a rate. We've earned 12 J.D. Power Awards for client satisfaction. And we invented Rocket Mortgage, a simpler, hassle-free way to get a mortgage completely online. So choose Quicken Loans, America's #1 online lender. Call 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
We are back in the Sports Lounge. We being yours truly, Michael Horn, the star of our program, the football legend, the acting legend, the one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer.
Yes, thank you. I'm just wrapping up on this one-and-done rule here on college football.
College, yeah.
Professional basketball has to sit down with the NC2A, and they have to come to an understanding. I personally think, it doesn't make any difference, just my opinion about this situation. I personally think that when you come out of high school, you have the right to go from high school right to the NBA if that's what you want to do.
Right.
And if you can make it, that's wonderful. Kobe Bryant did. You can list a bunch of guys. A lot of players have done it and been very successful. Many have done it and failed, and they have no education. They can always go back to school, but not on a scholarship. So the elements here that take place are. I think if you're a college kid, a high school kid, and you sign a contract, you have to adhere to your contract. You have to sign a contract. We're going to give you some money. I think you got to start finding a model where you can get basketball players that the school wants. It's an investment. We're going to recruit you to our school, and we're going to pay you for 4 years a little bit of stipend, so you're not having to sell jerseys and take money from agents
or getting shoe deals,
whatever it might be. Right. But we're going to help you do that. But when you sign a contract saying I'm going to be here for 4 years, you better be there for 4 years.
Exactly.
And if you don't, we're going to come after you for the money.
Because that's your deal, right?
You signed a contract.
People need to go with it. If you sign a contract, that's your deal.
That's it.
I agree with you.
And if you say, okay, look, it's a 3-year contract, great. We don't give one and dones anymore. It's a 2-year contract, 3 or 4. I signed a 3-year contract. Then you better be here for 3 years.
I agree with you.
So you have to have the NBA say to the high school kids, you better go to school because we're not taking you. We're not doing one and dones anymore. If you go to school, then you'll be on a scholarship and you'll get some money. And at the end of your contract with the college, you are eligible for the draft. And if you want to come from high school directly into NBA, we'll be the arbiter if you're good enough to do that. If we don't think that you're good enough to do that, then we're going to advise you to go back to school.
I agree with you, Fred Dreyer.
But it has to be simple. It has to be straightforward, and you have to get the NBA and the NC2A and these colleges and these kids on the same page. Otherwise, you'll destroy the sport.
All right, well, your thoughts on that? Follow Fred on Twitter, Fred_Dreyer. Let him know. Facebook.com/The Real Fred Dreyer. Email him, definitely. We do emails here on the show. FredDreyer@CRNTalk.com. You mentioned basketball. We should mention our buddy Basketball Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal. He supported police for years, and he was sworn in as a sheriff's deputy back in 2016, said he'd run for sheriff in a few years. So he's talked in, he's chimed in on these school shootings that happened most recently in Florida, and additional support. He says he wants support for police, not a ban on guns. He says, this is a quote now, he was on the radio in New York. He said the government should give law enforcement more money. He said give more money, you recruit more people, and the guys that are not ready to go on the streets, you put them in front of the schools, you put them in front of the schools, you put them behind the schools, you put them inside the schools, and we need to pass information. I would like to see police officers in schools, inner cities, private schools. Now, Shaq lives in Florida. So in Parkland, and back in February on the 14th, it killed 17 people. That hit pretty close to home for him. He said it's a very sad incident. He said it's close to my heart. I actually live in Fort Lauderdale. I actually know the sheriff and called him and told him he did a wonderful job, and O'Neal showed interest, he said, years ago, and in police, and so he is supporting the police on this. And I tend to agree with him.
I think is he supporting the police officer?
Supporting the police to have guns, and I think probably supporting people in the school to have guns too.
What about the guy in charge of the police who told people to stand down?
He's not talking about him. He's talking about
he's talking about
the Fort Lauderdale sheriff.
Fort Lauderdale sheriff. Yeah. Because the other guy
was
he's got a problem.
Got something going on there.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the latest from the Shaq.
Well, that's good. I'm glad it helps when guys like that speak up.
Yes, it does.
It really does. But
you don't hear it in the mainstream media. We're reporting on it here.
Yeah, because it's not the narrative that the mainstream media is selling to everybody.
Exactly.
It's all about the danger of us being able to think for ourselves and problem solving for ourselves. It's very simple. Take away all the school zone, the gun-free zones, put people in there depending on the size and the structure of the school, but 2 or 3 or 4 people there who are uniformed, I think a uniform, a police officer or officers, I think they do a great job of deterring people. When you drive by, you see a guy in uniform out there with a gun on his hip. That's a big difference in seeing nobody out there and the gates wide open.
That's what I think. And the kids were protesting, and I get the kids want to be safe, but you got to get somebody in there to watch over them. Now, your thoughts on this? Let Fred know about it. You can follow him on Twitter, Fred_Dryer, D-R-Y-E-R. Facebook.com, he's available, Facebook.com/The Real Fred Dryer, and email him FredDryer@CRNTalk.com, and also his new website where you can get Highway 395, good movie that he's got out there, FredDryer.co. That's FredDryer.co. Now, one other thing, and I know you don't get involved in this, but maybe you do. I don't know. Warren Buffett is in the news, and he's got his annual Berkshire Hathaway NCAA tournament contest that I guess he does every year, and he's got an unreal prize this year. He says if an employee picks a perfect Sweet 16, remember
his employee,
gets a perfect Sweet 16, he or she will win $1 million a year for life. I'm going to go to work for this guy. He's aware of the astronomically high odds against that happening. 1 in 1.9 million last year it was, but he said this is it. He said this year he says if the Crichton Blue Jays or Nebraska Cornhuskers win the tournament, the prize is going to double. That's what he said, because I think he's a Nebraska fan or something over there. So instead of 1 million, it'll be 2 million. He says. So
he's got the jack to pull it off.
He does. I think he got the money, too. I think he has the money to do it.
He has the jack and the money.
Yeah, he's got both.
I'm trying to be hip.
I know you are. Now, we got some baseball news. Got to talk a little bit about spring training a little more if we can. See what's going on.
Okay.
You got some, you watched a few games on TV?
I've watched, and this bias thing has me nervous now that you mentioned it.
It is very nerve-wracking.
It's very nerve-wracking.
The crowd was nervous. That's what
Well, they know what a dud when they see one.
It's not just you and me.
Open the gate and here this guy comes clomping out who can't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
The word is out.
My neighbors always ask me, "Hey Pete, how do you keep your yard so nice?"
Pete makes it simple with a Scott's Turf Builder feeding program. It's the best way to get the yard you want all year long, guaranteed. All it takes is 4 easy feedings. Just once in early spring, late spring, summer, and fall. Providing nutrition and weed control to keep your lawn lush and green.
So, now you know my secret.
This is a Scott's Yard. Pick up a Scott's Turf Builder program today.
Want to refresh your wardrobe and home? Get to Kohl's Friends and Family Sale and take an extra 20% off with promo code FRIEND. With an extra 20% off, LC Lauren Conrad floral tops are just $23.99. Jumping Beans tees are only $6.40. And a KitchenAid Artisan stand mixer is $299.99. And you'll get $60 Kohl's Cash. A spring refresh for the family, Kohl's Cash for you. Right now at Kohl's. Select styles. Offers valid March 14th through 18th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
We are back in the Sports Lounge. I'm Michael Horn, along with the one and only Fred Dryer. I don't know if there was a bad liverwurst sandwich or something that somebody ate here, but the air in the studio today was a little unnerving. Have you noticed that? A little rangy around here in the studio? Did you notice that?
Who, me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. There was a little problem in the studio.
Yeah.
I brought it.
Yeah, I had to leave.
Thank you. Just want to spray some of this vanilla spray in here or something. I don't know. There's something happening.
What is that? What is it?
This is, I held this from the Vanilla Bean Noel.
Missing.
Sorry, didn't need that. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good stuff. That's much nicer in here. Now, breathe deep, everybody. Apparently, there was something going on in the studio. I don't know what exactly it was. Noel, the
Vanilla Bean Noel.
Yeah,
What's that mean?
It means Christmas time, Noel. It's a little vanilla bean. It's got the Christmassy colors on it.
Gee whiz. Yeah, stop doing that.
It's a lifesaver. Something was going on in here. And I don't want to make any accusations.
Use that as a suppository.
I don't know.
And then when you sit down, it'll start spraying automatically.
Something was going on, let me tell you.
Oh,
all right, now Tim Tebow was doing well in spring training, and then he hit the sprinkler head or something, and they did a Mickey Mantle number on his ankle. Twisted it up. He did. He was doing really well. He got some home runs and hits, and he went recently 0 for 4 strikeouts in a game, and he was the Heisman Trophy winner in 2007. Played football, all that kind of stuff. All that, but he's now
does not help.
Not going to make the 40-man roster for the Mets because he's hampered by a left ankle sprain because he hit a sprinkler in spring training. He says, I'm going to continue to work in all areas we've been working on. He's been solely used as a designated hitter or pinch hitter because of his ankle injury. And then Tebow said...
Otherwise, he'd be hitting 400.
Well, he was doing real well at the beginning. Yeah. And here's the quote. He says, the ankle was kind of disappointing. I got to put in a lot of good work, and I feel like I'm improving. It's getting there. And the Mets general manager, Sandy Alderson, said he thought that Tim Tebow would be in the major leagues one day. So we'll see. Your thoughts.
As what?
As a player. As a player.
Is that the 26th man down there at the end of the bench?
Yeah. Now, the Astros had a chance to go to the White House, and the whole team did except for Carlos Correa, skipped going there. But he said it had nothing to do with politics. He said he's supportive. He just went because he wanted to get some relief supplies to hurricane-ravaged Puerto Rico, where he grew up. And he said, and also Ken Giles did not go, the closer, because he had something that he had to do with his family. But it was a family commitment for Giles, and Correa said it was not politics or anything. He said it was just the day off was perfect to be able to provide some help for the people in Puerto Rico in need.
Well, that's a good thing to do because you want to help people.
Yeah.
But have you seen pictures of that place? I saw some film of that place.
Curt Schilling was in this studio.
It's a dump.
About, right after that happened, he was there after a few weeks afterwards, and Curt Schilling was doing his show from our studios here. And he said, words cannot describe the devastation. He said it's like a World War nuclear.
Now, can I also tell you this?
Yes.
That place was not in very good shape before the storm hit.
Correct.
So what is that from? What do you think that's about?
Well,
the government stealing money and not doing what they should do?
Probably.
Well, there it is. Why don't they have the Army of Engineers? Why don't they have a Bill Clinton's foundation come down and really help those people?
Let's not go there. Some of that.
Well, they fixed Haiti. Haiti is perfect now.
I don't know if the Clinton Foundation does that type of work. Basically,
they do a lot of work. You'd be surprised at.
Speaking of the Clinton Foundation, they'd be happy here if Bill was here. You go, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry.
I didn't know that the island was this crappy.
So here's something. Imagine this. What if you cleaned out your grandpa's garage and you found 7 vintage baseball cards of the late Ty Cobb at your great-grandfather's house, and then you found an 8th? Now, this family 2 years ago made a greatest of finds for sports collectibles when they found 7 Ty Cobb baseball cards printed between 1909 and 1911.
So they were all different?
Yes, and they've now found one more.
Oh, no.
In the matching set.
Oh, boy.
You can't make this up. You can't. This President Joe Orlando of the Professional Sports Authenticator of Newport Beach, California, he said they verified the card is valued at $250,000.
Just for one card?
For one. And the first 7 were in a rumpled paper bag that might have been in the trash if someone didn't peek inside, like my baseball cards ended up. Anyway, the initial discovery, they said it was a real shock to them. They put the cleaning on hold for a while, and then they were looking. They found a dusty box between 2 books, and there was another one. This is a treasure trove.
Were they in good shape?
Yes.
Oh,
$250,000. That's pretty good.
Wow.
So and the guy wasn't even a collector. He just held on to these cards that would be likely to give him after buying a particular tobacco product or something. He held on to the baseball cards.
Yeah, that's right.
So Ty Cobb, king of smoking tobacco world. That's was one on the back of the cards.
I was with a friend of mine, a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
And we were talking about baseball because baseball season was opening up and the start of the Major League Spring League.
Right.
And so we're talking about a bunch of stuff. I said, wouldn't it be a great idea if you could, if you write a story about two guys or one guy, whoever it might be,
right,
that somehow gets transported back into Brooklyn in 1955.
Yes.
And he doesn't know how it happened or what happened, but the point is that he now realizes that he knows who's going to win the World Series.
That's what
and
I'm
he
thinking.
knows Johnny Padres 2-0. He knows the whole deal. So he tries to raise as much money as he can on that belief so he can go win, and he does.
That would be a great show. Is that another one you're going to write? Maybe
No, but it's a good idea.
Sports movies are big,
Big movie.
I don't think you
I
should
love
mention it
that.
right now.
It's
Some
okay.
listeners probably going to take it and do it.
No. They can have it.
Really?
I got a million of them.
I got an overwhelming urge for maybe some kind of ice cream, vanilla ice
cheeseburger?
cream. No, a vanilla
Cheeseburger?
ice cream, banana split or something after we sprayed that vanilla bean in here. I'm getting hungry for some ice cream.
Well,
delicious.
It's easy to order out.
For the getaway of your dreams, come to Hawaii's Playground, Ka'anapali Beach Resort, on the fun side of Maui, where the world comes to play. Find your spot on Ka'anapali Beach with 3 miles of white sand, 12 resort properties, 2 golf courses, and 2 shopping centers. Enjoy the playground of Hawaii's ancient royalty. Ka'anapali Beach Resort is Hawaii's original master planned destination resort and home of the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival. With views of 2 neighboring islands, you can breathe in the land's natural beauty from your favorite resort or golf fairway. Come experience Ka'anapali's own special brand of Hawaiian hospitality with world-class dining, relaxing resorts, water sports, and activities of every kind. For romantic, family, and great friend getaways, discover the options of Ka'anapali Beach Resort, where the world comes to play. Plan your getaway today. Visit Ka'anapaliResort.com. That's KAANAPALI Resort.com.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808. The official Sports Lounge theme. We're talking the Sports Lounge with yours truly, Michael Horn, and the one and only Sultan. 2 safeties in 1 game in the same quarter. A record that'll stand the test of time. The acting legend, the football Hall of Fame. You should be in the Hall of Fame, by the way. The All-Pro defensive end. We're talking about the one and only Fred Dreyer. Let's talk football news here, Fred.
Right.
Free agency officially begins this week. It started, and trade signings, cuts, and everything. So here's some news for you to comment on. First, this one here, the Eagles, they've agreed to terms with linebacker Nigel Bradham on a 5-year contract. He had 190 total tackles, 3 sacks, 13 passes defended, and 1 interception over the past 2 seasons with Philly. They thought he was going to get caught on the salary cap, but he came and he had a sizable free agent market, but he chose to stay in Philly. I think that's commendable of a player to stay with his team that he's done well with.
If he's happy with that, then that's what he should do. I know a lot of people, when I moved around, I wasn't married. Many of these guys are married and have their kids in school.
That's tough. Now, Drew Brees, he has signed a deal now. He's got a $50 million deal, including $27 million in guarantees.
Good.
And so he's going to stay with New Orleans with the Saints. There were reports the Vikings might have wanted to take a look at him, but Brees says there's no doubt in our minds. I think both myself and the Saints that we were going to get the deal done. This was about putting our team in the best position to win a championship in the next few years. The annual average is falling short for Drew Brees of Jimmy Garoppolo's $27.5 million for the 49ers. But this is the guy is he completed 72% of his passes. He had a 103.9 quarterback rating, so he's going to be good through 2019. You think? I like Brees.
Drew Brees, right? Yeah, he's a good leader.
Now, the Vikings offered Kirk Cousins a 3-year, $28 million year deal as quarterback. That tops Garoppolo's deal. Cousins was the former Redskin quarterback, drew interest from the Broncos before Denver started to pursue the ex-Vikings guy who I like, Case Keenum. Why wouldn't the Vikings
have no
kept
idea
him?
why they signed this guy
over
and
Case.
Did not keep Case Keenum.
I'm with you on this. That's crazy.
This is I don't understand. Not unless they know something we know.
Yeah, I guess. Now the Patriots are looking at A.J. McCarron as a backup for Tom Brady. McCarron wanted to be a starting quarterback, but with the
Alabama,
Kirk Cousins headed to the Vikings, Case Keenum to the Broncos, Teddy Bridgewater to the Jets, Sam Bradford to the Cardinals, Drew Brees re-signed with the Saints. So it looks like this guy McCarron's going to maybe be a backup for the Patriots, which he'll get some good
Where
money.
was he before? Where has he been?
I thought he's been at a few places there, but he was up. He wanted to go for the big deal. So I don't know. He was 5 years at Alabama. And he wanted to be a starter, but and so far didn't hit that deal.
Who was he drafted by? Do we know?
No, I don't know. That
Okay.
doesn't here, and I do not remember. I apologize for that.
No. So he, so he's going to be the backup to Brady.
Yes.
And they got to bring someone else in too. Certainly, this Case Keenum thing, I can't get over it.
I can't either.
I don't think that's a good idea. Plus, Case Keenum was loved by his players.
Yes.
People, the Vikings loved this guy. He was a good locker room guy. And now you get rid of him for this other guy coming in, from Washington. And
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, and he's is he that much better than
I don't know.
Keenum? I don't know.
Keenan really had a chance to show stuff. He was behind everybody at the Rams and then had a chance to stretch his legs a little bit. And I think he's going to do well with the Broncos. I think that'll really help that team. So we got to get out of here and remind everybody that you, Fred Dreyer, can be reached by following everybody on Twitter. Fred _Dreyer is your handle there. Facebook.com/The Real Fred Dreyer. And by all means, send us an email. FredDreyer@CRNTalk.com. That's FredDreyer@CRNTalk.com. And we should also mention, too, your movie available for download tonight if they go to your website.
Yes, FredDreyer.co. You can see the trailer, and then you can download the movie.
FredDreyer.co. Check it out.
Enjoying all your favorite CRN programming is easier than ever. It's right on your TV, through your local cable provider, and on the web at crntalk.com. But when you're on the move, stuck in a plane, train, or in your car, catch up on all the shows you missed. Or listen live to your favorites. Download our CRN app from your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Just search for CRN Digital Talk Radio. Or search for your favorite CRN shows on apps like iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, AHA Radio, UTunes, and Nobex. Now you have access to all of our great shows anywhere in the world and the ability to be part of them by calling our toll-free studio line at 800-336-2225. For more information on where and how to listen, log on to crntalk.com and create your own listening experience today.
The radio channels. The radio channels. CRN.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters. On a day of nationwide student walkouts to protest school violence, the House is taking a small but important step to prevent further shootings.
Voting to create new programs teaching students, teachers, and law enforcement officials to recognize signs of potentially violent behavior and